So let us do one thing. Initial level, we'll just start with a few project element. In that only, we'll try to discuss on DAX. Okay. So let me do one thing. Let me just share you the files today. Please download it. Sushmita, I just request you, please load this file into the portal also. Okay. I just given the files to you. Let us just go ahead and work it out on those files. Then we can work it out on the KPI requirements. So whenever we get any projects, so let us open first the Power BI file. Okay, let me just go for a blank report. Let me share my screen. I hope. Just confirm me whether you're able to see the screen or not. I hope you guys are able to see the screen, right? Now, let us just check the files which I shared to you. So if I just go ahead with the first file, which is customer data. Here we have a customer data where if you can see, we have a certain informations are there. Customer ID is there, customer name is there, their email ID, joining date, gender, age, city, state, and a country. You have these information is available over there. Now, can you just tell me whether this is a fact table or a dimension table? Guys, I'll share you the file. Just let me first give the basic checks on the table. Then we'll share it to you. Don't worry on that one. All right. Every 15 minutes, I'll keep on sharing the files. However, you are not doing practical, right? Parallelly with me. I'll just request you use that. Just view the data first. Try to understand the concept. Okay. So it's a dimension table because we don't have a non-aggregated columns. So it is nothing but a dimension table. Now let us just go ahead with another table where we have one more table where we have lead data. We have different leads are there. Now you can see here we have two tables are there. So if you can see the lead number is there, lead ID. When you got lead, what is the customer ID, region, right? Whether it has been converted or not. If converted, the date is there. So whether it is converted, then you get yes. If it is not converted as a, I can lead not converted as a sale, then you'll get as no. Now by seeing this table, can you just tell me whether it is a fact or a dimension? It is also a dimension table, as you can see. Okay, let us just go ahead with next table, product data. If you see in the product data, here we have few columns such as we have product ID, product name, category, right? We have a band, cost, and a price, right? Is it a fact table or is it a dimension table? It is also a dimension table, even though it's not a fact. So the reason is that you have a cost, but this particular product item is not repeated. So generally, if a cost value is there, okay, I understand, right? but the cost, I can say product is not repeating. When product is not repeating, then obviously it will become under dimension table. Okay, because you are working with sales and cost, so in such cases it doesn't work out. So in this case it is a dimension table only. Now when you are going with one more file where we have sales information, here you can see if we are going with the sales table, we have order ID, order date, customer ID, product ID, then we have product name, category, region, sales channel, from which channel you got it, right? Quantity, unit price is there, price or discount we have it, sales amount is that, overall sales amount, costing is there, profit is there. So these are the fields we have, and it is a fact table, because if you can look at there are multiple elements are there, you are able to find it over there based on the values, calculations, things. So this is your fact table. So here we have 3 dimension tables are there and 1 fact table is there. Okay, let me just share you the files once again for you. Somebody has not downloaded the files, they can download now, but don't do it parallelly, because we are working on a project and within 2 hours we may just complete the project, right? But if we are doing parallelly, you may not complete on that time. So I'll request you just view it, see that particular files, how we are working on a project, then you can just practice later on. However, you get this link in a YouTube also, as well as in LMS portal also. Whenever you get a free time, you can sit down and you can work on this particular project. From your side, you can also generate some KPIs, right? And you can work on those elements. So let us just load these particular files. If you look at all these files are a CSV extension. So if you want to load these files, let us go to the Power BI first. Go for get data. Here we have an option called text/CSV. We'll click on that. We'll just go for a folder where we load a CSV file, which is a customer data. As we already discussed on the data type, other things, click on transform data. So here one, I can say transformation is needed. If you just look at over there on the data, as you can see, your customer ID, customer name, email ID, it is in the titles. Now check your data types. It is in date, age is in number. Okay, city, state, country, you have it. Similarly, let me try to load the data, but I'm loading directly in the query. So in the query also, we have an option called new source. There we have text and CSV. Just connect leads data. So here we have a leads data. If you click OK, data get loaded over here. So you can see it is text, date, text, text, text. Conversion is again date column. Similarly, if I just go ahead with another text CSV, we load a product table data. So in product table also, we have product ID, product name, category, brand, cost, unit price. Okay. So if I just click OK, here we have the value, and this is also a dimension because it is not repeated item, it is unique item. The product IDs are non-repeated. Am I clear? Similarly, if I just go ahead with my last file, it's a sales data. Obviously, sales data will be your fact table always. Here we have, these are the columns. If I load it, let us check your data types. Order ID is a text, order date is date, customer ID, product name, category, these are all text. region is text, sales channel is text, quantity, unit price, discount. I can say sales amount, right? Discount we'll just give in percentage. So you can give in percentage. Add a new data type, you can see in percentage. Now similarly, if you just go ahead, cost and your profit is there. So it is your fact table. These 4 tables we have to load into our Power BI desktop. So whenever you are loading the data, first you check your data type. Second thing, select entire table by selecting any column, press Ctrl A, it will select entire column. Go to the home tab. Under the key pros options, we have keep errors. In this way, you can easily come to know whether in this entire table, do we have any errors or not. Select any one column, press Ctrl A, come to key pros options, select key pro. If you have any errors, it will show you. Otherwise, it show you as empty. For undo, click on this step where kept error is there, right? Click on that red color icon. Same thing, I'll do it for all other tables. Select any one column, shortcut key is Ctrl A, go to the option key pros, keep errors. If you find any error, it will show you in any column, any row. Right? As we don't have, we are getting as empty. For undo, just click on this cross mark. Same thing, I'll do it with the sales table. Here I'll just go to the options, keep errors. You can see. Now, if you want to load the file, you can load it to the file. You'll able to load, sir. Just close and apply, you'll able to load it out. Right? Maybe your file is already open. Just check it out. If it is loaded, downloaded properly, then you can load it. First close those files and then you load it, it get loaded. Now you can see all the files are loading. So obviously it takes some time for loading. It is trying to scan the schemas. Right? If when you have a fact and dimension table, system itself trying to connect your schema. That is nothing but relationships. Now you can see the files has been loaded. Now here, the first thing I'll just go for views. I'll take a template. This time I'll take some darker templates. I'll take a darker template. Right? We'll try to work on a darker template format. But personally, if you ask, if you're looking as per the industry level, we generally use color blindless color only, lighter color format. The reason is that many people will have color blindless problem. So in that case, you can choose any other customs themes. But as I have an example, we are taking a darker theme. Okay. Now come to the modeling. Here you can see if you minimize the size, you are able to see your, this is your product table. This is your sales data. It is your customer data and your leads data is connected with your customer data. Now, can you just tell me which type of schema it is? Is it a star schema, snowflake schema, or a galaxy schema? It's a snowflake schema. Perfect answer. Because it is indirectly connected, so it will be a snowflake schema. I hope it is clear on this. Yes, guys, I'll share you the file every 15 minutes as I told you. As we are working on not parallelly, so just bear for me. Every 15 minutes, file will get shared to you. If someone not downloaded, they can download it. In portal also, it get updated, but not by right now by EOD. I'll just request you for going for hybrid or Galaxy CA format, go with the previous recordings, right? Because we already have a planned hours. So we are working according to that. I'll just request you to go to the recordings. You have a YouTube link also there. You can go to the YouTube and cross check once again also. There is no problem. How many times you want to repeat, you can easily do that. Okay. Now here relationship is already connected. Now let's try to work out what is the agenda, what are the KPI requirements are there. So I have a KPI file that is nothing but my requirements. So here it says that build an interactive Power BI dashboard tracking the sales performance, customer engagement, product trending across multiple regions and channels. The first thing is that we required total sales revenue, sum of the sales amount required. Now, when you're going for a sum of the sales amount, as you can see over here in the reporting format, we have sales. Okay. We have a sales over here also, sales channel, sales amount, right? Am I clear on this sales table? You have sales one. Let me minimize this. Okay. If we are going with product, in product you have unit price is there, cost is there. But it is asking clearly we required based on the sales, that is nothing but total revenue, right? So sales required total sales revenue, that is nothing but your sales. So for this, you can write down a measure, right? Generally, we drag and drop the column. Generally, we drag and drop the column, right? But whenever we are using a project and we use this formula on a regular intervals, okay? So in that particular case, right, you have to, what you can say that, write down the DAX formulas for that so that it will be a faster performance, more accurate performance. For a more performance optimized, we have to write down the measures. Guys, these files will get loaded by EOD in the portal. However, I told you guys, every 15 minutes, I'll going to share those files. Just bear with me. Okay. In meanwhile, whenever I'm getting a time, I'll share it to you. Okay. So let us just go click on new measure. I'll give name as sales revenue. Okay. I'll just give sum of sales. You got a sales table, sales amount, close and enter. The first requirement get completes. So let me have a KPI. I'll just minimize. See here, I'm not doing any, I can say formatting other things. Right now, I'm just writing the formulas to check it out, the values, other elements. Once it get completed, then I'll customize the things. Okay. The next one we required total number of orders, count all, I can say unique order IDs. Now, when you're going with orders, where we have order IDs, if you search with order, here we have order IDs, which is there in the sales table. So obviously, if you look at the order IDs in the sales table, order IDs always will be unique. But any case, if one order has been right given into two layers, sometimes it may happen because when you have two product items are having in two different branches, same ID can be generated twice, order ID, right? So here in that particular case, what we can do it. See, if you have a unique ID, I'll show you with the both ways, right? Let us just go ahead here. I'll write down a new measure. I'll write down here unique order ID or unique orders. So I'll give count. So in this case, I'll use distinct count. Distinct means unique item count. So it counts number of unique values in the column. So if I just go ahead with order ID, right? Let me have a card. I'll just copy, paste. Here I'll just remove this sales part. I'll take the option as unique date. So number of unique order is 5,000 only. And we have total records also 5,000. Otherwise, you can use count also, which also gives same answer as if now. But in case orders are repeated, so in such cases, what we have to do, in such cases, we have to use distinct count function. As you can see over here, distinct count, it always gives unique item count in the table. Am I clear? Okay. Now here you can see there is a problem happening. One measure it is over here, another measure is somewhere over here. If I want to keep my all formulas especially measures at one place, so what we can do first we go for the home tab, click on enter data. It is to create a manual table. We use this option. Here I'll give table name as measure table. You can give any name. I'm just giving as measure table. I'll click load. So here in the table, I'm not doing anything. I'm just simply loading the table. Even if you want to see in the table view format, you can see if I go for measure table, you don't find anything, right? But I want to keep these measures which are written into that table. So whenever you select a measure, you can see above, we are getting an option called as measure tools. Able to find it? So here, what is the measure name? There is a home table. Home table means where you have this table. So I want to keep those all measures into one place, which is called as measure table. So it will move under measure tables. Same thing I'll do it with sales revenue. I'll move into measure tables. Now, as this moves into the measure table, you can see in the table, you have these two measures. Now, as if now your table identification, generally a table format looks something like this. But as we don't require this column 1, I'll go to the more options, delete from the module. So that column also will get deleted. As it get deleted, that column also, single column what you have, it become a measure table separately. You can see on top, you got a measure table. See that icon? Only measure icons are showing. So you can keep all the measures at one place. Am I clear? Here in the KPI requirement for a project related base, we are giving as 10 activities. If you look at there are 10 requirements. But when you're working with the organizations, there will be hundreds of requirements, more customization, because a big organization will have multiple reports will be there, multiple departments will be there. Each department basis we require reports, and right based on those reports we require a dashboard. So in such cases, we have to maintain all formulas at one place, and we sometimes we create multiple measure tables also, because for one set of group I required one measure in one place. For another set of group, I'll write down. Like for example, I have HR department is there, sales department is there. So as I want to keep all my HR depart formulas in HR table, dimension table, or I can say measure table, all my, I can say sales information will be under sales measure table. Like that also we create while we are working it out. Am I clear on this one? Any doubts still here? Okay, let me just share you the files. If someone has not downloaded, I'll just request you to download it. Need not to work, just view it because we are working on a project exercise related. So obviously there will be a problem if you are working right with me. You may not be able to do it completely and still you may have many doubts because you have not listened to the class. KPI is not sent. KPI validation. So here you can see there are the two requirements, 2 out of 10 KPIs. We already completed 2 KPIs. Now let's go ahead with next KPI. If you just go ahead with the next KPI, here are asking revenue of order values. So your total sales revenue, which is your sum of the sales divided by total number of orders. Here we have total number of orders. So if you divide these two measures together, you will get your average order value. Okay, to get this average order value, what we are going to do, we are writing a new measure, but I want to write down under this table, you have to select first. If not, whichever the table is active, it works on that table. So first select the table, go to the measure, a measure get added. Want to give a name such as average order value. So you can directly divide also, such as we are given sales revenue divided by unique count. Directly you can do that. This is one method which you can do. I'll copy and paste. I'll just remove this one. I'll take average order date. You can see average order value. Am I clear? But same thing you can do with one more method. You are getting 83.2. If you required, there is a formula called divide. You want to divide numerator with the denominator. Numerator is your sales revenue. Denominator is your order, unique order value. Right? And if you're dividing something like 0 divided by 0, what will happen? 0 divided by 0, you'll get error. So to avoid the error, I can give alternate result also. So this is the beauty of your divide function, where if there is an error, what you require in the place of error, you can do that. Now, as I change that same formula, but look at their value is not changed because both are one and the same. One I have done manually, one I have taken help of function. Am I clear with the third requirement? Now let's move on to the next one. If you just go for a next KPI, the next KPI asks year-wise year sales, year-on-year sales. Now for this, we basically required a graphical presentation. So whenever we required a periodical performance, we basically prefer a line chart. We generally prefer a line chart. I'll keep anywhere. Customizations, we'll do it later. Now, whenever you are having a date, right? If you look at on the date field options, if I just go with the tables, if I go with customer data, here we have dates, joining date is there. Okay. If you're going with leads, lead also consists of date, conversion date is also there, right? You have another table where you have the price quoting. So obviously here we don't have any relation, but when it comes to sales, here also we have a date. Okay. So whenever you are connecting with the dates, multiple tables, so in that case, you have to have a bridge table where you can get all the dates. Because tomorrow, if you are working with any other KPI requirements, then you have to work on those related part. But depend on the requirement, need and requirement, we have to go ahead. Let us just check our information. First, it is asking year-wise year sales. That's okay. Last 3 months sales, I want to find out. That is also okay. margin, right? Gross profit margin I required. So sales minus cost, right? Per divided by sales into 100 will give you margin cost. Similarly, you have here sales and the sales by region is there. So region wise, I want to break down the sales, right? Another one is top 5 sales are required, product contributing most, right, revenue in this one. So I want to get product wise sales, which is giving more revenue basis. That is nothing but sales only. Okay. Sales conversion rate, which is percentage of lead conversion on your accurate sales. So in this case, when you're converting leads into your actual sales, so at that time, date relation required it, right? And here when you go for a monthly growth, then you needed on those elements, right? So in such cases, if you required some connectivity between your, I can say, sales table as well as your product table, then you required a calendar table need to be generated. As we discussed yesterday, one of the DAX formulae to get a unique dimension table, what is the function we use? We use calendar auto. So click on the table because there are multiple date columns are there. I can't check one by one manually. So I'll click on new table. I'll give a name. There I am writing calendar auto. So automatically based on the database you have, it creates a table. Now, if you just look at over here in the modeling, as if now you know you don't have any problem, but later when you're working it out, at that time you'll have a problem. So one, you have to connect order date with date. Here you have a relationship. You can connect whenever date required. So I should go with calendar table and I should not go with order date. So if you just go ahead with the next table, I think so it is leads date. Here is a lead date where you have a conversion date also, but you need to convert with your lead date. So where is your lead date? Here we have leads. Okay. Now I just need to convert your leads date to a date. Now if you look at there, this table is connected based on customer ID, not with the date. Now we are having a common date relation connection between your leads and your sales date. Am I clear? Now this one you have to do it. Then let us just go ahead with periodical performance, year-on-year growth sales. So whenever you have a dimension table for a date, you should not go and select from any other table. You have to select from your this table only. And I'll use a hierarchical format. So year wise, you required your sales revenue part. So year wise sales growth trend it is showing. Okay. Formatting other things we'll do it bit later. As if now, let it be till here. Okay. Because we do customization at end. Now let's come to the next option. If you go with next KPI, it is asking last 3 months sales from the last date of the month, whatever the date you have, I require 3 months sales. Okay. So here, if you just look at on your order dates, if you're just going with your sales data, let me go ahead with the table. Here I'll go with sales data. If I just sort into descending, when you got maximum sale on 30th July, right? So when you're getting 30th July 2025, that means till date only you are having, right? So here you can have a table. So what is the KPI? KPI is asking last 3 months sales. So if you require only a 3-month sales value, I can create a card. So in the card, you can just go for your sales. It is giving overall sales. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my date column into your visual filter. Here in the visual filter, we have a drop down where you can go with relevant dates. If you're going with relevant dates, I want to find out last 3 months. Okay, I can go with calendar month sales. So if I do calendar month sales and apply, you can see 1st of July to 30th, sorry, 1st of May to 30th July sales you're getting. Now you can see 58.29 million is your 3-month sales. Am I clear with this KPI? Yes, if they are looking against any item, okay, against, I can say product wise you required, country wise you required, then you can have a different chart. However, if you want to have an improvisation on those KPIs, we can do it later. Okay. The next one we required is margin profit. Okay. How do you able to get gross profit? Sales minus cost, right? Divided by sales into 100. So here, if you required the sales, right? So if you just look at over here in the table, where you go with product data, I have a cost data over there, right? This is your cost price. And here, if you go with sales, here is your sales amount. Okay. But the sales amount is overall you're getting, right? So here you have a cost also, you have a sales also. So you can do, instead of going there into the product table, because that is not repeated one. Here it is repeated. So here you can directly do that one. So sales minus cost will give you profit. However, the profit is already available in the column. The sales minus cost is available over here itself. If you want to see, just go ahead with the calculator. Okay. So here you can see our sales is 248. Sorry. My sale is here 29634.36. This is my sales amount. My costing amount is 24883. So my difference value is 475136. Here you can see same value. So I need not to have that calculations separately. I need not to have the calculations separately. Queries, individual queries, you can't do it. Yes, for loading the data, yes, you can use a SQL server to pull the data also. Where here we are loading CSV. If you're pulling from the server, yes, you can do that. No problem with that. You have around 80 to 90 tools are there from where you can pull the data. So here you can see, need not to take this sales minus cost. It is already there. Sales is already there for you. Right? We just need to multiply it with 100. Right? If I required this gross profit, first we required sum of the profit. Sales minus cost is nothing but profit only. So let us just create a measure. I'll go with my measure table. Click on new measure. Here we can go ahead. Gross, I can say profit. Or I can say here I'll say total profit, because we are doing sum of the profit. So total profit is your sum of the profit column. So you get sum of the profit. I'll add another measure. What measure we are saying? We are making gross profit percentage we require. We require in percentage form. So here I'll write down divide. You can write down divide also. Numerator is your profit. Numerator is your profit, total profit, right? Divided by denominator. Denominator is your sales. Okay. Sales is your sales revenue. Okay. Now, if you have anything, give 0. It should be multiplied with what? 100. So if I do this, you are getting the value over there. Let me just go ahead and apply into a card. If I just take it out, this element over here, you can see 15.33% you're getting. But if you require, no, I don't require into a number, I require in a percentage form. So personally, I don't recommend use divided by 100 or multiplied with 100. Don't use multiplied with 100. Enter it. Here you can see right now you're getting 0.15. If I click on the percentage formatting, you get into the percentage. So instead of multiplied with 100 to get in a percentage form, I can do a formatting also. Am I clear till here? So by this, we completed our 6th requirement. The next requirement is we required region wise, your total sales breakdown, we required it. Okay. So if I just go ahead, region wise sales, region wise, we required a breakdown. So if I just go ahead with a report called as waterfall chart, which we'll be using for a breaking down. Here I'll take years versus your total revenue, sales revenue. So year-wise revenue, but I required breakdown in the region format. So I'll go ahead with region. If you click on the region, so you get a breakdown under region. I drag and drop under breakdown options. You can see you're able to see the breakdowns, right? So here, if you can see that, if you look at your sales from 23 to 24, the sale has tremendously increased. Every region based, your revenue has been increased, right? In 23, you made it this much amount, sales, you made it out, every region. But when it comes to 25, the sale has been drastically dropped. If you look at there, East is the one which is giving major loss, revenue loss for you, right? Whereas in the making revenue, West is the one. Clear on this breakdown part? Am I clear? So you can use this waterfall chart also for your requirement. I'll just minimize the things. Later, based on the need and requirement, we can do customizations. Okay. So here we'll just go ahead. The next requirement, we required top products which are contributing most for revenue. So here I required a chart. Generally, we use funnel chart in this case. If you are using funnel chart, what are the elements we required needed? I required products. So if you go with product, here we have product names and we have revenue. Your sales revenue is there. Product wise, you got a revenue. But your requirement is, do you require all the revenues or products? No, I required only top 5. So I can go with basics to top N, where I'll take top 5, your sales revenue column. You can see top 5, I can say products which are giving business for you. Am I clear on this stuff? So by this, we completed our 8th condition also. The next one is that I required sales conversion rate. What is the conversion rate? Is there percentage wise I required it. So leading conversions with your actual sales. If you look at for this, I need to go for my leads table. If I go for my leads table, here in the leads table, here you have the options. Here number of leads are there, dates are there. Okay. Now in the leads, there is a conversion rates. So here to find out the conversion percentage, right? You required sales conversion percentage are required. So what is the percentage? Like out of 100 calls, if you are making, right, 10 calls, what is the percentage you are getting? Percentage of conversion, what you are getting. If you want to know, there are two things. How do you come to know that whether conversion has been happened or not? By yes or no. If conversion is there, then I'll get yes. If conversion is not there, I'll get no, right? First, we need to find out total number of orders, right? So if you want to know the total number of leads or orders, leads are nothing but your orders only. Okay. So the total number of leads, right? So leads are over here. How many are there? If you want to check, somewhere around, I think 2000 rows are there. But let us just check it out. I'll write down a measure where I'll say total leads. So I write down new measure. Measure, I'll say total leads. So when I'm just going with total leads, I'm using count of, I can say leads. So in the lead table, you can go with converted, which shows yes or no, or you can go with any column. It gives the same answer except your conversion date, because in conversion date, you have a nulls. So I can go with lead dates or lead ID. So I'll come to know the total number of leads. Okay. If you just want to cross check, I'll keep one card over there for that. Here you have a card. I'll use multi-row card. The advantage of multi-row card is that you can have multiple items. Later, I'll just change all the visuals according to our need. Okay. So here, what I'm going to do, first I'll filter it out because that is only for this visual, not for the other. So first I'll go with total leads. So these are the total leads, 2000 leads. But out of these 2000 leads, how many are converted? Right? If you just want to cross check manually, here when I go with the leads table, let me filter for yes. Here are around 998 are your conversions. Right? So I'll just remove that filter, clear that filter. But how do you take the functionality in this? So for that, you can write down one more measure, write down a new measure. Okay. So how do you come to know that you want to count, right? How many yeses are there? So if you want to take a help, you guys can take help of ChatGPT Copilot. Here we have a Copilot, right? AI utilizations, you can use it. But I'll not recommend you while you're learning, use AI. If you use while you're learning, right, AI, then what will happen? You always depend on AI. And whenever you go for interview, interviewer never allows you to use AI. Okay, for learning, yes, you can utilize it. That means if you are for a knowledge purpose, you can explore and check it out. But the knowledge to be converted, you have to practice because interviewer never allows to use AI tools. Okay, so conversion of requirement is also needed. So here, if I want to write down the usage, some problem with my Copilot. Let me do one thing. I even have a chat GPT. I'll use chat GPT. Here I'll write down the options such as so if you just write down the command, it itself gives you the options. So here it says calculating the number of count, right? Count rows, and in that you're counting yes. So if you give a correct prompt, it will try to give the answers according to the surveys. So obviously, whenever you're working, right, you can use the AI tool, but it doesn't mean that it completely rely on that one. It may be right, it may be wrong based on your need and requirement. You have to prove that. You have to cross check that whether it is right or wrong. By manually we check 998, we got it. Let's try it out this one. Okay. So here I write down slightly different way. Okay. Because I prefer to understand the concept instead of going with using AI for only for a reference. But still, if you want to use, you can use it. Here I'm going to use, right? What is my requirement? Conversions. Okay. So if we are going with conversions, so I can say calculate total order also you can go out, which is you have taken total leads, or else you can use count rows also or count also. No problem. Anything you can take it out. So I want to count rows. So here it asks table. My table is leads table. Here it is not asking column if you look at carefully. Right? So here I'm using from which column I want to check the conversion one, which shows. So if I go with conversion, not the day, right? Conversion only converted. You have option called yes. If you enter it, your function get completes. Let me use this in your multi-row card. But look at there, the DAX I written somewhere else. Here I written. If I want to move, you know very well how to do that. Okay, you can see here. If you add it, you can see 998. Same, right? Now, here what is our requirement? If you look at the KPI says that I required the conversion rate. That is nothing but percentage. So if you required the percentage, you know how to get the percentage. Just use a measure. You can write down conversion rate. Okay. Here I write down your conversions divided by total leads. It gives, if you look at in the visual, in the multi-row card, I'll write down conversion rate where you get into decimals, almost 50%, but it gives 0.50 because it is in number format. To convert into percentage, click on percentage. You'll be able to see in a percentage form. Am I clear on this? Okay. Now, coming to the final requirement. If you look at our final requirement, the final requirement is something asking over here is about sales on month over month by month. What is the sales revenue you got it? So it is very simple. You can use a bar or a column chart. I'll prefer with the column chart. Sorry, not there. Here I use multi-row card only. I'll just select somewhere. I'll take cluster column chart. Here I take month. I have hierarchical. So you require only month. So month wise, you want to find out sales, right? Percentage of sales growth. Okay. So you can see sales growth is your sales revenue, right? So in this one, if you look at into the aggregations functions, you don't get it. Now here you are having the values. But if I required, this should be usually work it out with the revenue. You can make a use of this. But as of now, let us try to customize these elements, then we'll work it out. Okay. So I can just minimize my cards or keep adjusted one after another. Later, I can just keep it out in other place. You can see. As we know that whenever we are preparing anything, what we required initial level, we required a title bar. Okay. So you can say if you're getting the title bar, yesterday I'll share you all the files. Just wait for some time. I'll share all the files to you. Right. Let us not disturb the class now. We'll just continue on this things. Here, what we're going to do, first we required a title. Title, how you want to create, it's completely up to you. So I just want to go ahead with the shape or a text box. There is an option called text box also. You can see text box. You can create a text box over here itself. So in the text box, I just want to create a text. So if you require a text here, directly write down sales report or a sales dashboard. Okay. So I'll just select the sales one. How you required center alignment, right? Where you have the options, text to be increased, whatever the size you want to increase, you can give the text size. Clear? So how you want to make bold, you can make bold. Here we have the coloring. So if you want to give any other color, you can go ahead. But in this case, it looks perfectly when you're using this color combination format. Okay. So here, if you just go ahead, we have intents options are there. You have options are there which you can do it, where based on your need and requirement, you can adjust it. Custom colors, themes you required, you can do it. I'll just come out. You can see it looks like this, right? So here we don't have any formattings. We do have, you can see size and style. I'll just go ahead with visual border, but border color, I'll just give it there white. If I give a white color and I just give some thickness, it looks something like this, as you can see. Okay. And As we said that we required a logo. So let us take XLR logo. I understand it can be anything. You can choose your own. So I'll just go for XLR logo. Okay. So if you require any image, you can take it out. So I just prefer the logo not into the black color because again everything will get clubbed. So I'll just go with some other logos or image. Let me see some more images. Let me take this image. Right click, save as image. Wherever you want to save. I want to save this image into the pictures. I'll just give name as XLR. It's not JPG format. Let me check whether able to do. Generally, it will require a JPG format. So I'll go with insert, take down image, go to the pictures. Here we have image. Crop the image as much as you required as per your need. You can see. You just can give that image size adjustments. Completely up to you. So I'm just giving this image as if now. But yeah, you can require some other image. You can keep it that too. Now we required some card values. Let me have a card values. So I required total sales. So this time I'll try to prepare little bit different what we done on earlier basis. Earlier basis what we did, we have taken into the horizontal word for all the KPIs. Right? Now we'll not do the horizontal one. Let us do one thing. We'll do it in the vertical pattern. Okay, a little bit formatting. So I'll go with the format painter. Okay, here I'll just go ahead with callout values. I'll just give size as around 25. Okay, I'll go with the title. I'll take category label turn off. So it is nothing but total revenue. So in the tail, right, I can write down total sales I'll get. So here, completely up to you how you want to do a customization such as borders, other things we have it. You want to go with the same formattings, border, shadow. Okay, in the border, let me take somewhere around red color patterns. Okay, little bit curving edges. So my edges will be curved. Now let me take a whiter format. Do we get any? Same thing, not a big change. You can see it looks something like this. Okay, now here let me have the alignments, other things in the titles. So I make center alignment. It comes center. Here in the background, little bit grayer part. Text I'll put into blacker format. It looks something like this. Am I clear on this? Now, let us do one thing. I'll just keep another card, which is your profit percentage. I required same formattings. Now here, I required height width also same. So height is this, width is this. So height is 92, width is 214. So I'll go it here. Where height is 92 something. So you're getting the same size, same width. Now I'll use the format painter. So I'll go to the home tab, click format painter. Am I clear? So here I require title. What is the title? Gross profit. You can see. Let me just keep it somewhere. Here, total number of orders. Same thing. I'll just go with size. It's around 92. Width is somewhere around 214. Okay. I'll use the same format painter. Okay. I'll give total orders or total okay. Now you have order value, sales revenue we have. Okay. So if I just go ahead, this is for last 3 months sales revenue. So I don't require this is 3 months revenue. Average order value, you have it. Let me take a card for this one. I'll drag this one over here. Same thing, size, make it 92. And it is somewhere around 214. I think so. It's 214. You require format painter. You can apply. Okay, here title. I'll make it as average orders, average order value. So you can see average order value. Clear on this one? Now we have percentage of conversion is there. That is also required a card where we required total leads, conversions. We don't require it. So let me have all these things removed and let me take a single card. I'll keep it over here. The size, other things you can do it such as 92 214. Right? Format painter. You can just give title as You can see conversion rate. Little bit adjustment on top. You can see. I hope it is clear till here. Any doubts? Now, let us just go ahead with these visuals. So first, I'll just want to keep the top 5 elements. So top 5 we are getting, but funnel, instead of funnel, can I use a bar? So little bit, I can say you are getting the options in a better way to view it, or you can have a tree map chart where you can see top 5, but better to use, I can say, bar graph where it will show you the elements. Okay, so here I'll take top 5. Keep the revenue feature such as here. I'll take same format painter, use and apply. Now here you can see your revenue wise sales, you have it. Okay, same formatting I want to use for all the visuals. Home tab, I use format painter and apply over there. Format painter, apply over here. Format painter, just apply. Okay, these are the 4 visuals, you have it. So where we are keeping these 2 visuals over here. But first I'll keep my yearly revenue. You can have labeling over here. If you require data labels, let me go with data labels. Same formattings you can apply over here, and you can apply over here also. Am I clear on this one? Two other reports. One report is your performance, why is we required. Another report I required the sales in the last 3 months, we got it. So if we required last 3 months sales, I can put into the cards or I can put into any other future element. So let me just see my data. Do I give anything? Yeah, I can convert a geographical one. As you can see here, if you are going with data, here we don't have anything. We have category wise sales is there. Either you can go with region wise. You can go ahead. Let me just do that also. According to that, we'll just decide which was better. We can go ahead. Because as if now, no one asked anything on that one. So here it is a value. I'm taking region. So you can see region wise, you got the sales. If you want to have formatting, you can use a format painter. So you can see a format painter. Here you require data label, where you require all labels. Text will give it somewhere around 8. Okay. So you get here the report. Clear? Little bit decorating part. Yes, you can make it out. You can see this is a visual which you like to prepare it out. If you feel a little bit improvement, you can do that also. Now here we created the visuals. We protect the regions. Now the legend which I had given here, I should not give. Either you want to give or you don't want to give. You completely your choice. But if you want to give, I'll request keep it in bottom. So it will have some color identifications also. You can check. But as it shows over there, you can go ahead off and your data labels. You can make bold, a little bit text increased. You can see over here only. So little bit we can evaluate a bit. Yes. Clear? Any doubts on this one? Till you. Now this report, I just want to have some filterizations. Filters are not there. It look like a static dashboard. For making this dynamic presentation part, what you can do is that here you can see we have a country. We have countries over there. So I can just take a slicer. I'll just put a card over here. Guys, so we can't share those details. You can contact to the, I can say the salesperson, or I can say your counselor who can guide you or mentor you on that. Okay. So here, let us do one thing. Because my card is not able to adjust over here, I'll just decrease the width of this one. Width vertically is 90, horizontally it is make it 25. So you get 25, or I'll make it out somewhere around 15. So here I'll just select these cards. I'll make it out 15. Little bit adjustments we have to do according to how you want to present it out. Okay. And if you just want to have a width, I'll make it as 200. And here I'll try to adjust. Okay. So let us just check it out by taking countries over here. Okay. How many countries we have? We have plenty of countries. So what I'm going to do is that I'll just go ahead first my slicer setting to a drop down because I required a drop down. Okay. If I required a format, I can use a format painter. So the formattings will come. Titles, you can give it as countries. Right here. The other than that, in selections, I required select all and I don't required slicer header. This is one slicer which you want to make a use. Now in this one, I'll give a search option so that I can search it out. So now you can see if you are going here, I'm searching for Afghanistan. My entire report works on Afghanistan. Now, if you want to go for any other country, such as Spain, so I'll go with type Spain. I'll uncheck Afghanistan, I'll take Spain. So now entire report works on Spain. Am I clear on this? If you required all, you can have all also. You get select all, select all. Am I clear on this? Any doubts? Like this, even we have state is there. I'll just copy this and paste it out. So I'll just keep it out over here. And in the place of countries, I'll look at my state. So you got a states. I can say title, you can change it as a state. So you got a state. So I'll keep it somewhere over here. State, country, over here. I'll copy and paste. Okay, here in the place of here I'll give, so here it is state only. Here I'll just select in the place of country. Do you have region? I think all country other things are coming from which? Customer data. Let us just go with customer data. Do you have any other fields? State, country, city, we have it. Do we have region? No. So in that particular case, the first one will be state only, country only. So just remove the card, keep it over here. And I'll give their city. You get city. Right? I'll copy and paste. I'll keep it over here. And I'll take year from order date over here. I'll just give text as years, where here I'll just give city. Okay. Now coming to the other field, if you go with table view, state, region, country, gender is also there. So I can have a gender filter. I'll just go to the visual, copy and paste. Here in the place of this, I'll keep it as gender. Okay. Now you got a gender. Here you can see. Now, if I go for a drop down, I'll just select for 2022. Right. So I'll get the sales information for that specific year. Is it filtering? Yes, you can see. Based on the sales, the values are getting changed. Okay. So if you are not selected anything, obviously I'll get blanks. So here you can see the information for year wise. Now, if you go with country, I select for Albania. So Albania based report will come. Okay. And whenever select year, you can see here, one of the problem you face it around that here you'll get only that year sales, only that year sales point. My requirement is that the sales, right, year wise range sales, and here this sales and these three sales should not work based on this slicer. So in that case, I have an option which is called as edit interaction. There is an option called as edit interaction. Go for a format, edit interaction. I'll just turn it off. The visuals when I am filtering it out. It is hidden on one another. So let me just minimize a bit. Okay. I'll just go with the format. Select the year, click on edit interactions, turn off. Now, whenever you select for these things, these visuals get changed, but these three visuals will not get changed. Now, this visual I required change title also. It is okay. So these visuals will not get changed, but yes, If you're filtering over here, all the visuals will get changed. Look at that. Am I clear? So specific visual we don't require. We have an option of edit interaction. Okay. Now city wise also it will get changed. So first is city. Here we have gender. So we have not changed the label. Let me change to gender. Okay. So here you can have gender. If I select female, I'll get only female sales information. If I click on male, I'll get only male sales information. If I select all, you'll get both side information. I hope it is clear on this one. Okay. So here also I'll just select all countries, cities. Select. I hope clear on this visual part where we can have the KPIs, where we can have product top 5 product by sales. So here also I can change my title as top 5 okay. So you can see a monthly sales performance also for a so and so year. Let me just go to the insert. There are buttons. Clear slicers are there. If you take this button, keep it somewhere over here. Now, the usage of this one is that assume that you filter for Afghanistan, you filter for female, what is the performance? You have done it. So instead of unfiltering all, if I just click on control click filter, unfilter all. So you can keep unfilter over here also, filterings. I hope clear on this one. Now you can see here you are finding top 5 product names, their sales part. But what else I required in this particular one? Okay. So I just required to find out over there. Let me see the report. Can we add any other elements? If I just go with sales data. Okay. I required the sales channel. So I just want to find out the sales channels, or if you go with categories, how many categories are there? 4 categories. So I just want to know this top 5 product names are there. Products are based on categories, right? So here doesn't work out, but if you look at there in this, take any product name. Let me take any one product. If you go with any one product, so it comes under accessories. Okay. But if you just go ahead with region wise is there. If you're going with channel, there are multiple channels are. I just want to know that which channel is giving best business for you for all top 5 sales. So how do you able to prepare that one? Just clear all filters. We'll just go for this, adding a new page. I'll just go for page information where I'll take tooltip. I'll try to create here a donut chart or a pie chart. Where I'm saying that I required revenue, sales revenue, but I just want to know based on the channel. What is the sales table consist of? Product name, product ID, categories. What is the categories? We have these categories are there, but categories for a product remain same. So categories should not be selected. What what was the name we had given under product category? It can't be. Just now we discussed, right? Sales channel. Okay. It is sales channel over here. You can see. So you can see that sales channel, you are getting the values. You can keep it out. Scroll down. Now this data label not outside, I'll keep inside. Inside will come legends. Okay. I'll just go with preferable inside, but it doesn't mean that it should be inside only. So it can be all label. Preferably if you just take it out outside. Values, display units into thousands, or I'll put into millions. Okay. Now you can see that here you dragged and drop. You made a tooltip. I can just connect for this visual. I'll just come over here. I'll just go ahead for properties under tooltip. I'll add that page. Now, whenever I put a cursor on that basis, you get distribution, whether it is online or retail, which is sold most. You can easily come to know. Am I clear on this? Even you want to compress the file size, yes, you can do it because it looks too big for us. So let us just come over here. Here we have the size of page. Canvas. Tooltip only we can make. You can make this page a bit later. You can see. Just try it out, but not sure that it will going to work completely because generally we'll have tooltip image this size only. To reduce this, I'll go with custom. Width I'll reduce for 200. And this one is go to this visual. You can see. This is the last we can do it. That helps you out. Am I clear on this visual part? Okay. Generally tooltip will hide it. So I'll just go into hide. And here we'll say dashboard or a report, whatever you say. Clear? So let's just go ahead. Can you write all the files? I'll share it to you guys. Don't worry. Pratik. So if it required blank as 0, you can write down a if statement for those formulas. Such as if I just go ahead for years, when I select 2020, I'm getting blanks. So what I can do, I can write down, I'll show you for a sales. Here I'll say if there is a function called is blank. What is blank will do, if it is a blank, it gives true. If it is a blank, what do you require? 0. Otherwise, I required sum of sales. Right? If you just make it out, now there you can see that you're getting zeros. Right? But 0 divided by 0 again gives you problem over there, blanks for the visuals. There in the visuals, 0 is a value, right? It is not a null. So there you'll get a problem. So there you will have a problem over there. So, but you can write down in this way to remove that. Check with the clients how exactly they required it. Based on that, you can customize it. However, I don't require as if now. I'm just completing on this. Think something else missed out. So your OnePlus, I'll share you, sir. Don't worry. Attendance link has been shared. You guys can check it out. Okay. So all this you'll find it, sir. However, I'll just share you all the files from day one, what we worked out. Okay. Let me just save this file. So I'll just save this file first. Okay. Now here, I'll just, first of all, I'll share you the file first, the PBX file. So we worked with 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 files we worked in our FTP sessions, the PBX files. For a reference purpose, you can just download it. Similarly, if you are going with the database one, we'll just, for this project, I'll just let me close this KPI. I just shared these files and for pen merge superstore purchase data sales data superstore UD. These files we worked out. I shared with those file also, as well as when you're going with SQL, that means we have for modeling, we discuss city, country, and manager list. So these are the all files we worked in the last 5 days, our training program. But as I told you, subject is ocean. It never ends. Okay. And all the files also get loaded into portal, but wait for today. Okay. By today EOD, you will get loaded all those files over there. Clear? Feedback link already shared to you guys. You guys can go and give your feedback on this one. If anyone has any doubts, concerns, they can put across. Otherwise, we can end up our today's session over here only. Yeah, you can ping in the chat window, sir. So subject never get complete within 5 days, but we try to give as many as the logics requirements to be worked out. Yes, if you're eager, you can learn, right? With various sources are there, you can do. Even XLR provides that one. You guys can go ahead with the training portfolios, right? But make sure that you have to learn it. If you're not adding, then you'll have a problem. So anyone has any concerns, please ping me in chat window. If client want to see this all, right? So if you want to see, right, how it will going to work, you have to publish it. Here we have the option in the home tab called publish. When you click on publish, right, it asks for a saving. You just need to give which workspace you want to save. Once you go with the workspace and select it, so this file will get published into Power BI services. Yesterday I showed you how to enable the Power BI services, right? So once it get into the Power BI services, if you want to share this particular file or a dashboard, I'll just wait for a minute. Now this file, if you want to share, right, share it to people, here we have a share option. If you click on share within the organizations, outside the organization, right, specific people. Here you need to give the access, they can reshare or rebuild. You can do that also. Okay. But if you want to save PPT, Power BI link, other things, you can do that also. Even when you're exporting, you can export this file into PowerPoint and PDF because end user also required these services, Power BI services. If he doesn't have that Power BI services, then he'll not able to see the report. So everyone will not have that right amount they want to work out. So in that case, you can download into PDF or Power BI, right, PowerPoint, and you can share it. And if you have a bulk sharing, that is also available. Here we have embedding options. You can share with SharePoint. You'll get a SharePoint link. Copy that link and put into your SharePoint. Right? People can go there and check it out in embedded format. It will be showing to you. Am I clear on this one? However, plenty of the things are, sir. Within a day, I can say 5 days, you can't complete those things. Right? Just try to work it out. Right? However, when you keep on learning the things, subject never ends. As I told you, Power BI also keep updating. If you update yourself also, then it will work on to you. It works perfectly, will match, and you can work on those things. I hope it is clear on this one. If anyone has any doubts, queries, please let me know on that. Welcome, sir. So if no one has a doubt, I can say there is a career development, sir. Obviously, a person who is non-tech background also, they can work it out. Hardly we use big four, right? I can say coding, other things. Yeah, if you want to go ahead, you can go with that also. No problem with that one, but you can just work it out. So Anyone has any other doubts, queries? See, login ID access, as I told you, if you see yesterday's recording, how to create it, how to get a generator dummy account, and how do you able to prepare, we discussed. But if you're working with the organizations will going to create. Generally, we require organization ID to enrollment. If somebody doesn't have, I had shown you with a temp email part, temporary email, how to generate, how to work. You can check that option. Okay. So if no one has a doubt, guys, I can take a off now, because as today we completed our FTP program, but make sure, guys, keep learning the things. Subject never ends. Not only one tool, as today's market, you should be ready with multiple tools. If you have multiple weapons with you to win a war, it will become very easy. If you have only one weapon in the war, then it hurts to survive. Okay. So same thing in the organization also. Okay, guys. So keep learning. That's what I can say, and I can wrap up the session over here from my side. Anyone else has any other contact, right? Queries, please let me know. Otherwise, we'll wrap up our session. Sushmita, you're there?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Sure.
Yeah,
So
thank
my
you so
side, it
much, sir.
completed. You can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, definitely. Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for all this 5 days of wonderful session.
And I just shared you all files. Please load into LMS portal also, right?
Yeah, sure, definitely. I have shared you one drive link, sir. Please upload it there. I'll take it.
Sure, I'll do that.
So, yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Once again, we'll meet again on next SDP or FTP sessions for definitely.
Sure.
Thank you. So, yeah, dear faculty members, as you all know, this was the last day of this particular program, FDP on data analytics and Power BI. So, there is some important updates related to certificate and all. So, as today is the last day, so from today, we require 10 to 15 working days to share the certificate. Okay, within 10 to 15 days, we'll be sharing the certificate for your register mail ID. So those who have marked your attendance all the 5 days, definitely you will receive the certificate. And one more thing, as you all know, we have informed in the beginning, 60% of attendance is very mandatory to get the certificate. 60% or above 60% of attendance participate will get the certificate. So if you have not secured 60% of attendance, you will not get the certificate. It is a very mandatory thing in XLR. You have to get 60% of attendance to get the certificate. I hope you all understood. Okay. So I'm just repeating. For your register mail ID, we are going to share the certificate if you are eligible. Okay. And if you have query related to certificate or any related to XLR, or you wanted to know any details about XLR, you can drop a mail to edl@xlr.com. I'm just pinging the EDL mail ID on the chat. That is edl@xlr.com. Any other questions? I'm ready to answer. If you have any questions, you can just ask me out. And related to LMS, as sir, I just informed to the sir, he is going to share all the PPTs and files which he has used in the classrooms. So all those materials I'll be going to upload in the LMS dashboard. Kindly wait by today, end of the day, or by tomorrow morning. All the materials will be uploaded. You can access the materials in the LMS dashboard. And some are asking for previous days attendance link. We are so sorry. We are not able to share those attendance link. As you all know, the attendance link will be active only till 5:30. So yesterday's attendance will not be shared. We can't share it. Yogi sir, ma'am, feedback form is not working. It is working, sir. I think you have a issue with your network. Please change your network and try it. Any other question? Ma'am, Praveen sir, ma'am, I'm not able to get the course detail in LMS. As you have shared your mail ID, I have just noted down. So I'll check and I'll update you on the same, sir. Any other questions, dear faculty members? Yes, attendance link, which I've already shared it in the chat. Kindly mark your attendance. To get the 60% of attendance, we have to attend class for 3 days, right? Yes, if you have attended for 3 days and you have marked your attendance all the days, I mean all the 3 days, for definitely you will secure 60% of attendance, you will receive the certificate. Any other concern or any other issues? I was continue with the session since 5 days, but I'm not able to mark the attendance. I did not get you. Why you have not marked your attendance, sir? Anis Khan. Do we get the recordings of this FDP session? Yes, definitely you will get the recordings in the LMS portal. If you missed out to mark an attendance just for 1 day, no issues, you will get it. If you have not marked all the 5 days, I mean all the 3 days at least, you will not get the certificate. Some people have raised your hand. Kindly drop a message in the chat so that I can take your questions. Okay, I hope I cleared all the doubts. I'm just repeating about the certificate. As to share the certificate or to issue the certificate, we require 10 to 15 days. So from today, please wait for 10 to 15 days. Within that, you will get the certificate. I request, please don't call by tomorrow and ask for the certificate. Please be waited for 15 days. For definitely, if you are eligible for the certificate, you will get the certificate for your register. Okay, thank you all. Thank you for joining this all the 5 days. We are going to wind up the session. So if you are interested, you can join to the upcoming sessions. Okay, thank you all. Attendance link I have just shared. I will just share in the chat once again. You can mark and we can wind up. Okay, I have shared it on the chat. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you for joining. Have a great day. Thank you.